Milwaukee manufactures 6 different battery types. Today we're going to show you 2 of them, talk about 3 of them, and the other 3 I'm just going to mention briefly. So let's go through them. They make a 4 volt, a 14 volt, and a 28 volt. But the 3 major ones are the M12, the M18, and going into the future, the MX Fuel 72 volt. Now they're calling the MX Fuel battery MX Fuel because they're getting away from voltage. The MX Fuel battery is about 72 volts and I don't know, 84 at peak, something like that. But they're getting away from the voltage because that's what's not important. It's easy for rip-off manufacturers to exploit that. So they're going to kind of move away from that and kind of brand it just like the Fuel brand. So the Milwaukee Fuel brand is the brushless motor. And this is an old one because it says Fuel and brushless. Most of the newer products are just called Milwaukee Fuel, and that means they're using a brushless motor. They're marketing that way. I was going to come up with some big funny spiel about, you know, why they don't say it's a brushless motor, but it's just really easier for them to just come up with a marketing name like Fuel. So I am extremely rare in the fact that I use Milwaukee tools at home. That's right, I'm rare. In industry, where I came from, power plant generation, I worked at power plants, I worked for power plants as a vendor, and I worked for a manufacturer who manufactured parts for power plants, large components. And around 2007, I was introduced to Milwaukee when all of the techs started showing up with Milwaukee tools. And I said, hey, what's going on? What's going on? And they started showing me their tools and how it was better than DeWalt. And of course, you know, don't even go to Harbor Freight and stuff like that. That's just, there's just no comparison. We're talking about industry. You know, for a homeowner going to Harbor Freight, I go there all the time. It's fine. But to have Milwaukee tools at home, you know, it's pretty tough to take, you know, $320 of your net pay and buy an impact wrench. You know, but I take off tires and do brake jobs and on cars and stuff, so, you know, I needed that. It was no big deal. I had a decent paying job. But what got me into the batteries and what we're going to talk about today is I bought this Milwaukee blower. You know, my Husqvarna 125B, you know, it was running out of steam. I think the piston is finally wearing out. Got another carburetor issue. It's only like $10 Amazon Prime, maybe $12 with tax and all that crap, to put a new carburetor on there. But electric is by far and away better. And the reason Milwaukee is dominant in industry is that if you're at a new construction site, there's no power. You haven't hooked up all the electricity yet. You know, you got to run off a generator or something. And if you got to run your big drill off electricity, then guess what? You got to plug it in somewhere, else it doesn't work. Also, if you go into a power plant and they're doing maintenance, you know, you might not have an outlet right there. They don't have outlets all over the place. So, you know, you need electrical power to run your tools, some of them, unless you want to wrench all day instead of, you know, bolt in, bolt out, bolt in, easy peasy. Then then you're going to need a high quality, reliable tool. So, getting back to the batteries. What happened was I bought this blower and I consumed a whole battery and had to go to my second battery to finish the job, and that was blowing off my front porch, garage, and driveway. I did a review on this. It's okay. But anyway, what I learned is I wanted to do the whole job in one shot, so I needed more electrons. So I decided to get the high output battery. And that's when I learned about all the different batteries they had. They actually had 3 different ones for the M12 and M18 series. And I learned about how they functioned, how long they lasted, whether it would work for my application. And so I'm going to present all that to you, and then if you want to go in and dig in deep, do your research, you can, or you can just watch this video and decide which battery you need. Now for me, the way I was brought up, it's buy quality once. I've heard a saying like buy quality once, cry once, meaning that, you know, you put out like $300 or whatever I paid for that impact wrench. You know, I could have gone to Harbor Freight and bought one for, I don't know, $50, $80, whatever. But instead I paid $350. But I've had it since 2007. So, you know, it's taken off a lot of tires. Buy quality once. The cry once is that, you know, you spent the money, so you cry over that large amount of money you spent. And then it's over. You live with it forever because you have a good quality part. So really, with Milwaukee tools, if you're a private person or even an auto mechanic, let's say you're starting off, because I see these products going into automotive repair, the DeWalt is really falling by the wayside in the automotive industry. Milwaukee is. And what's interesting is Milwaukee is taking over the automotive industry like it came into my house. It's by word of mouth. You don't see Milwaukee advertising on television. No, this is industry. Companies and individuals who own companies are purchasing Milwaukee products. They don't need to advertise and sell a bazillion products to every one in the land. You know, they make high quality products, they make a profit, and they keep innovating. So that's really amazing. So let's look at these batteries here. So it's lithium ion. They're about that size. I got this out of like a cheapy screwdriver I had before I bought this electric one over here. You know, this is one of those hex key ones. You know, you can put a screwdriver in there, bits and stuff like that. So this is called the CP battery, or compact battery. It's like a half a pound. You know, it's lightweight. Looks like it has 3 cells to it. I think this one has maybe 5 cells to it, but this is the compact one. This is the XC. XC means extended capacity. So this is the largest XC they make in the M12, which is the 6.0. This is the smallest they make in the compact, which is 2.0. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's 1.5. So this one is 16 watt hours. This one is 72 watt hours. A big difference. So for the 12 volt, technically I have the smallest and the largest. So as you can see, I have a ton of 12 volt equipment because I'm a homeowner. That's all I need. You know, I don't need the 18 volt all that much. I mean, even my small impact wrench is 12 volt because, you know, I work on lawnmowers, power sprayers, spray equipment, cars. You know, you really don't need anything big for cars. The screwdriver, it's a bit overkill, but I use it, you know, anything. Hang pictures if I need a screw for a heavy clock or something, you know. So there's your M12. So the compact comes in different sizes. So this one's really old. It's not even labeled 1.5, but it comes in 3 different sizes, 1.5, 2, and 3, and those are the amp hours. So you can get the M12 compact in 3 different sizes, which is 1.5, 2, and 3. So that's what you're paying for. You'll see let's say an M12 battery for sale, let's just say Amazon, who cares, somewhere, and you see all these different prices all over the place, you know, genuine Milwaukee, and you see prices all over the place. Well, what you're paying for is the larger capacity. Alright, the extended battery comes in 3, 4, and 6. This is the 6, which is the 72 watt hour, if I can get that on camera. And that is what you're paying for there. So this is about a half a pound. This is about 1 pound. This retails for $67. You can pick them up for $50. So now this is the lower one. I didn't price the higher ones. This is the high-end one. You can get retails for about $150. You can probably get it for $100. So I know $100 sounds like a lot to a homeowner, especially if you're taking it out of your net pay. But you know, if you're a business, man, it's going to save you so much time, because time is money. Alright, so here's a knockoff brand, Power Extra. It has the Milwaukee number. It has the 2401, which is the low battery. The 2401 is the 16 watt hour, the 1.5, if I can stay on camera. But this one is rated at least they're advertising it at 30 watt hours. So they're advertising it as the high-end compact. And I paid, retails for $100, I paid $70 for it. So that's what's going on there. I was swapping this out quite a bit, and I didn't understand why, and so I bought the cheapy ones because they advertised it that it lasted longer, and now I understand why. So it's because of the batteries they have in them. Now lithium ion, that's what you're really paying for. You're paying for purity. So that's why the Milwaukee brand costs more. It's not because they're ripping you off. It's because you're paying for quality. Now the M18. The M18 comes in 3 sizes. But like my display here, I only had 2 for the 12, and I only have 2 for the 18. These are both XCs, which is the mid-range extended capacity, and then I bought the high output, which is called the HD battery, and I bought the HD12, which is the maximum M18 battery you can buy for my blower, so that I could do the yard all in one kick. And this is like this is less than 3.5 pounds right here. So it's pretty hefty. It's almost as much as the blower, which is like 4.5 pounds. So the extended capacity ones or a pound and a half. So, you know, this is twice as much plus than the extended capacity. Now I've mixed up a couple of terms here. I mixed up amp hour and watt hour. It's because it's the way they're labeled. So you need to be careful if you're looking at amp hours or watt hours if you're looking to compare batteries. Now if you're looking at only Milwaukee brand, they're going to be in the same units. So that's not going to be a problem. You'll be able to figure it out. For example, for the M18, their M18 compact comes in 2 amp hours and 3 amp hour battery capacities. Now I have the XC batteries here. The XC batteries come in 6 amp hours and 8 amp hours. Oh, excuse me, 5, 6, and 8. Now the Milwaukee M18 Extended Capacity batteries come in 5, 6, 8, and 9 amp hours. So let's see what I have here. Oh good, it says watt hours. So I see my source is different from the label. So that's what's going on there. So these are the 54 watt hours. The HD12 is a massive 216 watt hours. So as you can see, I consume the entire 54 watt hours and a little bit extra. So this one is definitely going to be able to blow off my porch, garage, and driveway and not run out of juice. Have plenty of electrons in the lithium-ion cells. I'll put some pics up. It's pretty neat how they have these things assembled. And it's not just batteries and wires going to the terminals here. There's a board in there. Now the 12 volt doesn't have any indicators on it. There's nothing here, but the 18 volt, they have indicators. And all 4 light up. That means it's charged. If the one light flashes slowly, if the light on the end flashes slowly, means it needs a charge. If it's flashing quickly, means your product isn't going to work and it needs to be recharged. If lights 1 and 4 come on, that's the 2 on the end. If they come on, that means it's a high current draw and it'll probably cut off on you. And if 1 and 3 flash and then 2 and 4 flash and they alternate back and forth, that means that the battery is too hot. You got to let it cool down. So, in conclusion, I received a starter kit. Now, what a starter kit means is you get the charger, battery, and tool. A lot of times I'll buy the tool only. The tool only is a typical -20. So if it says -20, it's going to be tool only. So if you see this term starter kit, you're also going to get a charger. You see this one only has a 12 volt. So I got a 12 volt battery, the charger, it's not plugged in, and it probably came with one of the tools because I bought it in a kit. I think this one came with the drill. So the charger, package, and drill, battery all came together. Then I also have another starter kit. I probably bought it with the impact so that I could get the battery, the charger, and the tool all together. And you only need one charger. I mean, gosh, this one, you know, I really did buy these in 2007. So I have 2 batteries, impact wrench, and charger since 2007. It's like 2021 right now. So it's lasted all these years, no problem. So let me review and conclude. The M12 batteries come in two sizes. The CP and the XC. That means compact and extended. The M18 batteries come in three sizes, which are high output, XC, and CP. So it's a compact, extended, and high output. And then within those categories of CP, XC, HD, you have different amp hour ranges. I'm sorry, Milwaukee rates them in watt hours. I think in amp hours. I apologize. But when I said amp hours earlier in the video, that was my source of measurement when I was doing my research, so that is correct when I use those units. Believe me, when I went to university, that's all the professor talked about was use the units, use the units, use the units. It was like it's drilled into your head. You get an engineering degree, that's all you're going to hear at an engineering school. Use the units, show your units, use the units, show your units. It's just a mantra. So anyway, again, you can use the Milwaukee branding as a guide. You know, the HD12, you got the high demand battery, boom. And then you can see their rating. So the high demand comes in 9 and 12 amp hour configurations. So there's like a high and a low. The XC comes in 4 configurations. The 5, 6, 8, and 9 amp hour, and this one is the 54 watt hour, so I apologize, I'm not going to say which one it is, the 5, 6, 8, or 9, because I didn't do the conversion. And then the same thing with the M12. And then they come in double packs, so you'll see a number for a double pack. And then you'll see a starter kit. Typically the numbers all start with 48. This is 48, 11, 18, 12. So they all start with 48. 4859 will be the starter kit, 4811 are the batteries, and the batteries can come as singles or doubles. And the batteries can also come as doubles in a starter kit or singles in a starter kit. Just be careful with that if you need a charger. Now these are really old because the newer ones are going to say XC 3, 6, 9. You know, they're going to be numbered. They're going to start branding them. Again, they're getting away from the voltage configuration to a marketing label configuration. So these are really old because they don't have the designation on them like this one does. HD12. Also, my M12s don't have the designation on 1.5, 2, 3. So these are really old, but the newer ones are going to have the designation on there, XC6. So, hopefully, I helped you out and didn't just ramble on and on and on, because I'm good at that too. And if you want to use Milwaukee either professionally as a car mechanic or at home and you need some batteries, you can hopefully see how their batteries are manufactured to give you more time, and you can make a better decision for yourself. Now if you're in industry, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.